All right, we are live.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Only you can see how many people coming up in here and see what's going on, but I guess we'll give about like what 20 something seconds or whatever. Well, I see it popping up on my phone. Uh, a beautiful island in Florida. You happen to be in North Carolina, home of the Panthers. So I don't even understand why you still over there. I guess you have a job to do. You have a living. Uh, you have things that you need to take care of. But ain't nothing like living in Florida. As you can see, Tampa Bay all day. Pray for Damar. Uh, we'll get into that a little later. Also, I told you we're going to the Super Bowl. I don't know how people been here. We're going to the Super Bowl, Brandon. I told you. I've been telling you this all year. See, you don't want to believe me. We do this every single time. I told you this in 2020. I said, bro, we're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to the playoffs, all that junk. You said, nah, 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 nah. Now, look at us now. You said this team is terrible. This team ain't going nowhere. I'd be surprised if this happened. Well, I think you might want to be surprised. And I can't scream. I can't raise my voice because my vocal cords hurt. I've been over here trying to get my vocal cords back because I've been screaming at all the Bucs games this year. And yeah, so we're going to the Super Bowl. And I also told you if the Bucs go to the playoffs, we will be a team that nobody wants to play. Yeah, we might have had a challenging season, but we know how to win. We know how to lose. That's one thing I can say for certain. We know how to win. We know how to lose. It does not matter about those L's that we took. What matters is that we take that, we apply it, and we shoot that somewhere else and apply it and get this ring. And yeah, we will be seeing Dallas. And if we got to play the Eagles, we'll play them too.
I mean, before we get to the Bucs, I do want to kind of, talk about what happened in the NFL sports and kind of his effect, like change the landscape of sports and how we talk about sports. And that is, I don't know if you see the background, Damar, um, Buffalo Bills, that Monday Night Football game, Bills and the Bengals. I think these past couple of days has kind of been a reminder. One, just how dangerous sports are and how dangerous football inherently is when you are, making hits and you're running people over and you're getting tackled every single play. I think, the analogy has always been, getting hit, playing football is like getting hit by a car every single time. So when you think about that and what it does to your body, uh, we've kind of accepted, injuries are part of the game. Get an ACL. Sometimes it's severe to a broken rib. We've seen the concussions, but never do you think you'll see what we all saw Monday night happen. So I do want to start out. Obviously, the NFL, it seems like it's going to continue with the last week of the season this weekend. But there's definitely bigger things than sports, and that is the actual part of what we do, and that's living. There's a lot more things that are bigger than sports, and so I want to start off with you know with that. And just it's just been amazing to see the outpour for Damar, his family. The millions of dollars raised for his toy drive. Just seeing Bengals fans, seeing fans across the country, just being able to unify and support him and his family as this recovery. I think I just read the latest update today. His uncle has kind of been speaking to the media, but they actually had to resuscitate him twice. He died on the field and at the hospital. They had to resuscitate him twice. And then I think last night, the latest update that I read was that they had to turn him on his stomach to stop, get the bleeding, the blood out of his lungs. So it's very serious when we talk about football and a game of football that we all love. So just wanted to start out there, but
Also, I will say this. I will say this. I heard also that he was 100%. The breathing machine was 100% on him. Now I think he's 50% on the breathing machine. So that's I will put that out there. So they say he's making some progress. I say some progress is better than no progress. So I hope he do bounce back. I know he'll probably. I'm pretty sure he'll bounce back. That's all we can do is hope for the best, everybody.
yeah, and again, hopefully, thankfully, and Cincinnati has the best doctors, best medical professionals looking after him. So I do think, but again, I also think it's just, and this, on this, I think it is a good to bring up the conversation. One, not only about sports and the dangers of sports, but this could have happened anywhere. I think it's good to that conversation at your workplace, a conversation, especially high school sports, little league sports. When you think about it, we both played little league football. Think about the hits that we've done incorrectly, and the teaching you have to teach kids at such a young age, and their bodies are still developing. Your body's still developing at such a young age, to where the conversation has started back again. In our newsroom, we've had a couple stories and trying to figure out, how do you bring awareness to this? And it goes back to there was a kid that actually got killed, and that kind of sparked the movement to make sure that AEDs, were at every sporting event, at every high school campus, that there were people trained that knows how to do CPR. So the one thing that I think we should all take out of this, learn how to do CPR. If you're at a school that doesn't have an AED, push for it. If you're at high school games or in any capacity, to make sure your high school or little league teams have an AED, push for it. You never know, especially when we talk about, impact sports from football. And sometimes it happens in baseball when a pitcher accidentally throws a ball and it hits the batter. That baseball hitting you in the chest knocks the heart out of rhythm. So you just never know. But it's good to have that equipment. And in DeMar's case, that timing was what he needed. Like the quicker you're able to shock that heart back in the rhythm and to do things, the chance of surviving increases. So that's the good thing in that. But yeah, so on Sunday, I tried to refrain from texting you because the Bucs always.
Oh, it was lit over here. It was lit over here. I had everybody going. I kumbaya'd all the Bucs fans together, and I'm telling you, all of them looked like they were giving up, and I was the only one that held the room down and told everybody to chill out. We got this. A lot of them were shaking their knees, their legs. They were cussing at the TV, damn near about to walk out. I'm like, hold on, we got it. Even when we were down 14 points, I said, hold on, man, we got it. And yeah, my optimism always works. Super Bowl, here we come, baby.
Yeah, I'm glad you think Super Bowl because I still don't think Super Bowl. But I do think, watching Sunday's game against the Panthers, the cardiac Bucs were definitely there. It just it irritates you, though, as a Bucs fan to see how sloppy they played to start a game, even in the first quarter, like against the Panthers, down 14-0. It irritates you because you see how terrible they look, and then all of a sudden the offense comes back with a Mike Evans having a career game, and you're like, where has this been all year? Like, where has the attacking down the field been all year? Where has the play action been all year to throw deep? Like, where has this offense been all year? And the troubling part is like, bro, like, we know the talent is there.
Yeah. We were preserving ourselves. We also were playing sloppy. We knew that we had it, but we were getting figured out as well. A lot of different things. We didn't have the same type of caliber players, even though we do. But you got to think, Julio Brown does not, Julio Brown. Julio Jones, I don't really know. It's clear that he lost a couple steps, but who's to say? He might turn up in the postseason. So I believe that we were preserving ourselves. We also knew that we got ourselves in a hole where we realized, like, dang, we don't went too far with this. And I also think that we were just getting figured out. That's just what it was.
No, and that's why I put this comment up. I don't know if you can see the comment I got from YouTube, saying Todd Bowles still needs to go and Leftwich too. And I'm still on that train.
No, you tripping.
It also irritates me because so before the game Sunday, I read the report from Todd Bowles and Byron. They saying, we're taking the hinge off our offense. Bro, it took you 17 weeks to realize you needed to let the offense go. What coaching is that for you to wait 17 weeks to say something that, you need to open the playbook up? It took you 17
I
weeks?
mean, we tried to open the playbook. Did we not try to open the playbook when we
No,
lined
you
Tom Brady?
didn't.
We didn't try to open up the playbook when we tried to line Tom Brady up for receiver on that bomb. We didn't try to open up the playbook when all those many times when Mike Evans had that wide open pass that he dropped in Carolina the first time. We didn't try to open up our playbook. Uh, but we did open up our playbook when we had Julio Jones go across the middle and he ran that joker on down. There were plenty of times when we tried to open up that
That ain't
playbook, but the plays never connected.
that ain't opening the playbook. When I say opening the playbook, it's surprise. The point of a playbook is to surprise teams. You throwing a play action is not opening the playbook up because every team knows what to
I
do.
just name you
What
everything
I'm
but
saying,
play action
like
passes.
those plays weren't opening the playbook because you obviously again couldn't have opened the playbook up if you were only averaging the Bucs. I think offense average were all around 20 points a game this year. When last year they were over 30 something, near 40 points a game. So obviously something you ain't opening the
Are you still complaining? Are you still
I
complaining?
am, yes, because
What are you still complaining for?
because
We had a wonderful game last week.
I am complaining
What are you
because
still
hold on,
complaining for?
let me finish. I'm complaining because, and this is my dog is agreeing. I don't know if you can see this comment too. Yeah, like Leftwood saying play actions open the playbook, and it ain't. But what I was trying to say is that the mindset of this coaching staff has not changed. If you think after 17 weeks you realize, oh shoot, let me open the playbook, bro. As a professional coach in the National Football League, it should take you after week 1 to realize you got to change plays. It shouldn't take you 17.
And you don't think Byron was trying to do that?
No, bro, you can't. He
You
couldn't
seen
have,
it, man. Why do we line time?
bro.
What about those plays that I called?
That Tom Brady play wasn't new. We ran that play already. Like that's what's like so it wasn't new.
All right, bro.
And you couldn't have opened up the offense. There were
It's
some
only so many
games,
plays. It's only so many plays
but
you can
bro,
do in the NFL, Brandon.
you couldn't have been new when some games we had 3 points going into the fourth quarter. That doesn't translate to you opening the playbook or doing anything with the offense. So that's what I'm saying is that you got to. It baffles me that it took this long. But yes, I am glad the Bucs won on Sunday. Yes, they looked like a great team.
And you finna complain that you finna complain. I can't
In
wait to
that
the wild
second,
card. I cannot wait to the wild card. I can't wait.
in that second half, yes, defense showed up second half. Offense, Mike Evans. Thank God for Mike Evans. Michael Lynn Evans, MK13. Thank God.
To be honest, that's the best game I ever seen Mike Evans have.
I mean, thank God for Mike Evans. He found speed that he from somewhere blowing past the corners.
Well, that cornerback. I think that Tom Brady just went for broke. I think they just said, you know what, bro, we got to just go for broke. When he realized it worked the first time, he said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're gonna just keep doing it and keep doing it and doing it. And does it work all the time? It don't work all the time. Mike Evans, he actually does blow past a lot of people. He's fast, but he ain't that fast. But I'm gonna be honest. Clearly, it was something wrong with that corner. For you to get burnt
Oh, I
three
mean,
times,
so
for you
the
to get burnt
Panthers.
like that 3 times, bro.
I mean, and I live in Charlotte, so I had to tell this to some other Panthers fans. Their excuse was J.C. Horn did not play. J.C. Horn, their starting corner, and I mean he didn't play, but Carlton Davis didn't play on our side either. So injuries are part of the game. So that's why I told him, like, I mean, Carlton Davis didn't play for us. We our starting corner was out. But again, back to coaching, and I want you to, because this is a stat that again it just shows you how inept these two Bowles and Leftwich are. There's been plenty of 4th and 1 situations, 4th and inches, 3rd and short, where we toss it back to Lenny and he loses yards, or on 4th and inches in this season where we don't run Tom Brady and we punt it away. Since last week, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, 2 games ago, something switched on Byron Leftwich. They're like, hey, Tom Brady is very good doing sneaks. Every time we've run a quarterback sneak now, it is 100%. Tom Brady has not failed on a quarterback sneak. And that's what I'm saying when I talk about coaching. How do you not see these things after week 1 or week 2 that Tom Brady is a Hall of Fame quarterback and never fails on quarterback sneaks?
No, he failed on him. I seen him.
His percentage is like
90. He has failed one this year. I've seen him.
His
he failed one
percentage
this
is very good.
Bro, I don't know what kind of eyeballs you got. Tom Brady has definitely failed a quarterback sneak this year.
But his percentage is very.
It don't matter what the percentage is. He failed one this year, though. But he
compared
failed one though.
to some of the play. He may have, but it is still better than tossing back 5 yards in the backfield and when you got inches to go. But anyways, speaking of defense on Sunday, I said this last time we had a podcast, but Sean Murphy-Bunting has been playing hella good.
I bet, and didn't I tell you about Sean Murphy-Bunting too? You used to always talk about Sean Murphy-Bunting. Remember that we got this on recording.
Yeah,
I even said this. I even said this. I said, look, didn't I tell you? I said earlier this year. I said free Sean. I said free SMB. I said it earlier this year. I said free SMB. And then you tried to talk trash about SMB on the game, whatever game it was, where he kind of got a little burnt in the end zone or whatever. I said, okay. It was an unfortunate play or whatever, and he didn't really look back for the ball. He didn't know the placement of the ball. But to be honest, SMB has always been, I wouldn't say a great corner, but he has always been a good corner that shouldn't be counted out. And I always told you about that too. I said free SMB. When I bring up certain guys, there are certain guys I'm talking about for a reason because they actually got it. SMB does have it, and I do like the fact that I don't like the fact that he was benched or whatever. I don't like that, but I do think they gave him extra motivation, extra steam to do what he had to do. And he's showing me that breakout SMB that we had in the Saints game when he gave us the momentum. That was the momentum that we needed to beat the Saints of the year of the Super Bowl. So I'm not even worried if Carlton Davis comes back or not. He's going to come back. But I do think that between Jamel Dean and Carlton Davis, they now have a great balance with SMB sitting there, and the coaches can't overlook that. You have to use your caliber players, and it's clear that SMB is a key factor in that defense when it's actually time to show up. Has he played horrible? Yeah, I've seen it happen a couple times, but who hasn't had a horrible game before? I just don't think that he deserved to be. Maybe he deserved. I do believe he deserved to lose the spot to Jamel Dean. Jamel Dean is a lockdown corner. He's not obviously better than Carlton Davis, but with Carlton being so fragile or whatever, he fits right in easily a number 2 cornerback off rip. He could possibly be a number 1 cornerback somewhere, but not in Tampa Bay. But I told you a long time ago, and I told you at the beginning of the year, I said free SMB. And I've been saying this for a long time. Don't you play with me. Don't you play with me, bro. You know this for a fact. You know this for a fact now. Oh, he's been playing good all of a sudden. I told you about Vita Vea a long time ago. Oh, well, Vita Vea this, Vita Vea that. I told you about that. I told you that this team, no matter how we turn out, we're going to the postseason. And guess what, Brandon? If we don't get to the Super Bowl, we're going to the conference. I guarantee you this. And I'm also going to tell you this. I even heard Skip Bayless say this online. He said that he roots for his Dallas Cowgirls, but he said that he fears playing against the Bucs because he never bets against Brady. Betting against Brady or not, I don't think nobody want to play us at all. Just because we have the record that we have, nobody wants to play us. That's all that matters. F that record. We can flush that junk down the toilet, bro. We can flush that junk down the toilet. We are forced to be reckoned with, and I'm telling you, nobody wants to see us. We coming for blood in the postseason. Watch what I say.
You done?
I might be.
Okay, so let me speak without your interruptions. I let you speak. So, I'm a person who always, when I see a player turns it around, I will come over here and say it. When Devin White played terrible and the following week he had a hell of a game, I came over here and said Devin White showed up. Same thing with SMB.
You said he didn't deserve his money.
Same thing with SMB. He deserved to get benched.
You said he didn't deserve a new contract.
Same thing beginning of this year. SMB deserved to get. He played terrible. Obviously, coaches saw him.
He didn't play. He didn't play.
Can I finish?
SMB did not play, bro. He didn't play early this year.
Can I finish?
This man sat out like half the season.
Bro, I did not interrupt you. Can I finish? Can I finish? Okay, so SMB was playing terrible. Obviously, coaches saw the same thing, which is why when he came back off of injuries, he did not play. I said it last time we talked and said it again today. Since coming back, SMB has played very well. Picked up big plays. Like Sunday got an interception. Last week, same thing. So SMB is playing very well, which means he has something clicked, something changed, and he is playing very well. Yeah. The person who, as far as on the defensive side, if there's one negative on the defense from Sunday, our safety got beat a lot of times. And again, DJ Moore is a very good wide receiver for the Panthers. That's probably one of their turning stones to build here in Charlotte for the Panthers. But yeah, and I don't think he's going to have another bad game like that. I don't know why his I'm talking Antoine Winfield. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. He got beat a couple times and had a pass interference called on him. So I think that's the one negative it looked on the defense. But otherwise, I think the defense played a very good game on Sunday. And when we talk about moving forward, we're 8-8 for a reason. I never said the Bucs were not going to make the playoffs. I said we were going to make the playoffs because I honestly, we shouldn't be 8-8. This season should have played out a lot better, and it shouldn't have to come down to beating the Panthers to win the division. Making the playoffs, so the Bucs are either going to face either the Philadelphia Eagles or the Dallas Cowboys. Whoever wins on Sunday,
and bring them on.
We'll learn our fate. Obviously, I'd rather play the Cowboys because I feel the Eagles have way more talent on offense than the Cowboys, AK talent, and a Jalen Hurts who has been putting on a show this year. And the Bucs with mobile quarterbacks who can sling it have not done very well. Now, Dak can also run, but his speed is not the same as Jalen Hurts. So I would rather play the Cowboys as well again. And we beat the Cowboys twice. This year we beat them, and we beat them again, previous year. So the Cowboys obviously.
The Eagles won't pay back. The Eagles won't pay back from what we did to them in 2020.
Yeah, we beat the Eagles last year too. So I think the Cowboys are a team we could see. And as you said, Tom Brady is someone that you don't want to see in the playoffs. But I don't think this team.
The Bucs.
When we look at the Bucs team, how they are playing, when you get to the playoffs, cannot happen. As who's this Go Bucs person is literally about to say the same thing I'm about to say. This comment, Bowles and Leftwich need to work on getting going earlier. It takes us forever to get going sometimes in the second half. And that's what I'm saying is that why I do not think this team is going to go to a NFC Championship game, going to go to a Super Bowl. How we have played for 17 weeks has been slow coming out the gate, lethargic coming out the second half. That cannot happen in the playoffs when you are playing playoff teams. And so unless we can bubble wrap how we played against the Panthers in this second half, something has to change. And that falls on coaching. Like, coaching has to make sure this team is ready to play come week one of the playoffs. And so far this season, it has been proven that Byron Leftwich and Todd Bowles has not been able to prove that this team can come out the gate and be ready to play. Now, do I hope the Bucs surprise me and win it on Wild Card Weekend? Yes, I'm a Bucs fan, so I hope we can be talking all through the season and that we keep going into February and the Bucs are playing on Super Bowl Sunday again for the second time in 3 years. Yes, I want that to happen. But realistically speaking, seeing how this team has played for 17 weeks, no one in their right mind can say this team is playing Super Bowl level. Like they're not.
Brandon, we played like Super Bowl champion last week. Well, Super Bowl. Look, all right. One thing you gonna understand about me is my wording. I never said we were gonna win the Super Bowl. I said we're going to Super Bowl.
Yeah, but you go to Super Bowl to win it.
Okay, then when we get there, we gonna whoop some ass over there too. We'll bring on Kansas City again. I don't care who. Look, matter of fact, bring on the Eagles first. We'll take them. Bring them on. Because we know. Can you imagine the type of confidence that we'll have if we beat the Eagles? Oh man, the league gonna be scared.
The Cowboys are also playing well too. So I mean, beating either of those teams.
And the Cowboys have beaten them, right? The Cowboys beat them, and the Eagles beat them too, right? Or the Cowboys beat them twice this year. Which one was it? I think the Cowboys beat them twice, right?
I don't remember. I don't know. The Eagles have been playing without Jalen Hurts, so it's been they've been losing a couple games because Hurts has not been playing. So Gardner Minshew has not been their savior that they thought he was going to come in like he did for the Jags. But yeah, no. Again, as my whoever this Go Bucks is, I mean, they're saying the same thing. We have not played like a top NFC team all year, and that is my worry. Again, we know Tom Brady has been there. He's been to the promised land forever. So he knows what it takes. You can never count out Tom Brady when it comes to the playoffs. I just have not seen anything for 17
Man, you saying
weeks.
Tom Brady, man. I don't care about that Tom Brady stuff, bro. Look, people say this Tom stuff. I'm talking about the Bucs. Don't count out the Bucs, man. I'm just saying
Yeah,
that, man.
but
This Tom Brady stuff, man. No, man. I get it. We understand what the narrative is about Tom. The Bucs, do not count the Bucs out, bro. Do not count the Bucs. I don't care what we struggled against, y'all. I don't care how many Go Bucs logos I see up in here and names. I don't care what kind of weeks we done had. I don't care what the record is. I don't care. I don't care. We are the Bucs. Tom Brady's Tom Brady. I get it, but he's a part of the Bucs. All of us put together, we are not a team to be slept on. Period. We are just not a team to be slept on. I can see we're going to the playoffs and they're like, oh, they're going to get their behinds toe up. Well, we could get our behinds toe up. That's a possibility. But you can't say that this team is something to be slept on. We have to take us very seriously. Hell, you may not see us as serious or whatever. It is what it is because we're critical fans. But when you think from the outside looking in, nobody cares about that record that we have. They're just looking at it and say, "Oh my God, the Bucs are back in the playoffs."
I mean, I don't think no one is saying sleep on the Bucs, because when you think about even the Super Bowl year, the Washington Commanders almost beat us, and they were 7-9 when they made the playoffs.
Who cares?
I don't think anyone is saying sleep past the Bucs, because your record when the playoff starts is 0-0. What I'm saying is that the record is part of who you are. So that year the Bucs won the Super Bowl. The Washington Commanders were 7-9, but the Commanders, when Taylor Heineke had came in, because remember they almost beat the Bucs that first game.
Okay, it's the playoff. It's supposed to happen that way.
Let me finish. The Commanders were playing at a level, so when they got to the playoffs, you could say, yeah, they're playing well. What I'm saying with the 8-8 Buccaneers, there has not been a game this season where the Bucs have been consistent for 4 quarters. And that's what people on that are commenting are saying. That's what I'm saying is there has not been one game.
No. The Dallas game. The Dallas game.
You remember they had to come back in that one.
Well, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there has not been a game to where the Bucs have led the entire game and put a stamp like this is our explicitive. That's what we're saying, is that when you see, like when the Bucs won the Super Bowl that year, there were games where you're like, damn, this offense is good. Like, they are destroying teams. You can't say that about any game this year. And that's what I'm saying, is that there has not been one game that makes you say, you know what? Oh, we can go back to when they played yada, yada, yada. When they played the Saints or when they played the Niners, damn, they had a good game that's going to translate. And that is my concern going into the playoffs, is that you need to play consistent for 4 quarters. The Bucs haven't done that all year.
We will. And it's the playoffs too, so it's probably gonna get a little harder. So it is what it is. I expect games to be close in the playoffs. That's what it's all about. The best of the best going at each other. I mean, I don't expect blowouts. I don't expect blowouts to be going down in the postseason. But if it happens, it happens. You know, you got the best of the best competing at high levels. So I don't expect blowout games, man. I expect greatness from both sides of the ball.
Oh, I mean, I do too. And I just, thankfully, this time around, players have been there. So the Devin Whites have been there. The Levante Davids have been there. When we talk about defense, everybody on that defense, for the most part, has been there. They were on the Super Bowl team, so they know what it takes, because the Bucs, again, had to go through Washington, had to go through New Orleans, had to go through Green Bay to get there, and even had to shock the world by tearing apart the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So they know how to get there. I think it again comes down to talent, number one, and B part is coaching. The man who led them just got inducted to the Ring of Honor on Sunday and is not on the sidelines anymore. That personality, when we talk about the Bucs Super Bowl team, you had an Ndamukong Suh, you had a JPP. So those 3 personalities they're missing on the defensive side of the ball. You don't have anyone to rile them up like how we saw Ndamukong Suh and JPP do in the playoffs that Super Bowl year.
But you saw what Nelson did last week. Nelson showed up to the plate.
So someone is going to have to show up on that defense, and someone on the offensive side is going to have to be a Scotty Miller who runs down on the field and Tom Brady drops in on the Packers before halftime, and that was like the spur in that NFC Championship game to go ahead and beat the Packers. So that's like something has to change, and I want the Bucs again. I want the Bucs. I love talking trash. Been a Bucs fan as you all our lives. The only team we've ever rooted for is the Bucs. And I'm not even. I'll
be catching you rooting for the Panthers too now.
And I'm not even going to talk about the Falcons game because, the Bucs should beat the Falcons. I saw someone commented earlier that the Bucs should beat the Falcons. Yeah, they should, but I'm not worried about this game. The Bucs could be 9-8, 8-9. Doesn't change their seeding. I'm just worried about the Bucs staying healthy. Hopefully Ryan Jensen can come back in the playoffs. Hopefully, there's just key injuries that the Bucs have that we need. I just want the Bucs to be able to play for 4 quarters. And if the Bucs can play like how they played against the Panthers Sunday, if they can do that for 4 quarters, then we'll be okay. I'm not saying Mike Evans is going to have 3 touchdowns every game. Of course not. But what I'm saying is that the Bucs and the weapons they have on offense, from a Godwin to a Julio Jones, to putting Scotty back in the slot, to letting Brady move in the pocket, to letting Mike Evans fly, there's just too much offense on this team. Even without a Gronk or AB type players, I feel like that comes back on coaching, though. If you don't have a tight end in Gronk, if you don't have the speed of AB, you kind of have the speed in a Scotty Miller. So even if you don't throw to Scotty Miller, put him on the field to stretch that defense.
He has been on the field. He has been on the field this year.
Stop throwing those screens to Chris Godwin.
He has. Man, I think you don't miss so many times. How many times we don't throw the ball and try to bomb him, but people just weren't catching the balls, man. Or how many times Brady overthrown people and underthrown people and act like it wasn't trying to happen. Or how many times Scotty Miller done dropped the ball. How many times Julio wasn't coming back or he dropped the it's a lot of mistakes that went down. We tried these plays, they just didn't connect. You acting like it just absolutely didn't happen.
Are you
for real? You acting like it absolutely didn't happen, though.
I don't want to interrupt you, so I'm letting you talk.
But you acting like these plays didn't happen, though. Did these plays not come up this year? You trying not to interrupt me. I'm asking you a question.
I'm going to answer, but I don't want to interrupt you because when I talk,
I'm asking you,
I don't like
did these plays not show up this year? I'm naming you these plays. I'm telling you what happened. I don't like
interrupted when I talk, so I'm letting you finish. So you can return the favor.
All right, then. So you're trying to say I'm Skip Bayless? Did you see what happened to Skip Bayless today?
I did.
With him and Shannon?
Yeah. So I'm playing like Shannon today, and I'm going to let you talk. Or if we had a host, I would tell the host, go to commercial.
Well, thank God Shannon can't. He ain't got the power to go to commercial. Skip does.
But as I was saying, to your point, these plays have been called and across the season. But you know what happens in the NFL for every team, for those 32 teams? Players drop balls. Quarterbacks overthrow. Quarterbacks throw interceptions. But you know what happens on the good teams and good coordinators? They keep calling plays or they switch up to plays to adapt to their players and to adapt to whoever's on the field. So I don't care about that excuse.
That Devin Tompkins right there. My bad. That Devin Tompkins, I like him.
And
very
that may be a little hard on Byron, but again, the statistic speaks for itself. The Bucs have had the biggest drop off in NFL history when it comes to offensive points.
Brandon, check it like this.
What if you facts?
But what if you was an offensive coordinator and you know you're a damn good one, but your player just ain't delivering and they making you look bad? Because the players don't deliver. But how many? These the players made a lot of mistakes this year. So the players make 50% of your play calling. They 50% of you, 50% you, 50% them. So if you know you calling great players, is it your fault that these players aren't delivering? They dropping the ball, making all these mistakes.
Yeah, but
And when you be mad, when you be frustrated,
you keep calling plays. You don't keep calling a damn drop off on first down, and everybody at home like, oh yeah, the Bucs gonna run. It's the first play of the game. They didn't do that against the Panthers. You see how it worked. Like you don't be predictable as whoever this. Yeah, you don't be predictable running every first down. That little dump off. Like you switch stuff up to make it easier for your offense. If you see receivers are not getting open, then you create short passes. You create those middle drop offs. Like you have to switch it up.
Brandon, they tried, Brandon. And that's why Byron went for them short passes. He said, well, y'all dropping everything and, making me look bad. I just think that, what I say it's time. But I say the Rams have dropped the big time. Oh, man, who cares about them Rams? I don't care. They're relevant right now. They couldn't even get back to the postseason. I knew that was fake. They all went for broke and went broke. They spent all their money trying to be like us and couldn't even hold on and went 4-9. Ain't they like 4-9? What are they like? What are they like? What are they like? What are they? I don't know. Whatever their record is, they sorry as hell. But like I said, y'all, we're going to the Super Bowl. And if we don't go, if we go far, I think it's a hell of an accomplishment for what we've dealt with. And we went further than what we thought. Because you don't even expect that. So my thing is, you're gonna be disappointed regardless. You're gonna be upset regardless. Anytime there's a L attached to our name, you're gonna be mad regardless, whether we sorry or whether we had a high expectation season or low expectation. You're gonna still be mad. You're gonna still be bothered. So my thing is this: if the Bucs just make it to the conference, would you say, you know what, we could have been better, but they surprised the hell out of me?
Yeah, because I'm not expecting a Super Bowl this year. So versus that Super Bowl year when we won the Super Bowl, I knew we were good. This year,
you said we weren't going to the Super Bowl that year though.
That was in the beginning, and then as I saw how they played. Hold on, let me finish. Because I know what I said. I was very hard on the defense that year, but then when the defense started playing well in the end of the season, and how they played in the playoffs, I said, "Oh yeah, this defense is for real." I did. Thank you. So, but this year, I do think the expectation is not there for the Bucs. We're 8-8, barely got in the playoffs. So I'm not going to be, oh shoot, we didn't make the Super Bowl. Like I don't. For me, that's not going to. And I think most Bucs fans are not going to be highly disappointed if we don't make the Super Bowl. And because again, like my dog said about the Rams, at least we could have been the Rams. The Rams dropped off hard after winning the Super Bowl last year.
Man, that was all rigged.
What you mean?
That was all rigged. What the Rams did was completely rigged. They copied our every move, except we actually built our team. They paid for everything. They went for broke. They went for broke right when they saw us signing all them players.
What I want us to be, and I know we can't really do this because Tom Brady, so he's going to be gone soon. But what I want us to be is like the Kansas City Chiefs. They are consistent. Like they have been consistently good for 5 seasons now? Every year, the Kansas City Chiefs are in the conversation. That's how I want the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to be every year, playing top football. And of course, Andy Reid is a hell of a coach. I mean, and we know Patrick Mahomes is a once in a lifetime quarterback. But like,
I do agree with that. That would be nice. I expected that, and I expected that life after time. Now that is what I expect. Now that would be nice.
I mean, obviously, there's going to be a drop off when
they're a stress-free franchise. Like they're a stress-free franchise. Now the Chiefs had a rocky road at the beginning of the year last year. They didn't get to the Super Bowl, but they had a rough first 4 or 5 games, and they bounced back. But you can't say they fans wasn't upset and disappointed in them for how it all turned out.
But you see what you said? They bounced back. Coaching, they bounced back.
And we bounced back.
But the Chiefs,
you see that? You put it up there. You said back. What did it say? Back to back, which means what? bouncing back.
We're 8-8. The Chiefs ended
I
last year.
don't care.
What
We
record?
bounced back though. We
What was
bounced
the
back.
Chiefs record last year?
I don't care. I don't care what it is. Why are we talking about them? We beat
Because
them.
what? Because we beat them
But
in the
we
Super
beat
Bowl,
them though.
and they've been consistent.
Man,
They're 13-3 this year. But that's what I'm saying is like coaching helps.
okay, cool.
And so
and players as well. They don't have an old team.
correct, but coaching helps.
Okay, and we got that. We bouncing back.
Eric Bieniemy is probably one of the best offensive coordinators in the league, and so you see the plays that the Chiefs call versus.
And so is Byron Leftwich.
Bro, okay, we about to end this. If you really put Byron Leftwich up there with Eric Bieniemy.
Byron Leftwich is one of the best coordinators in the league, man. Is he not one of the best?
He looks like it back when the Bucs won the Super Bowl, but not this year. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened this year. But no, because we've been talking for 11. Let's scrap this on 4. Yeah, so Sunday the season ends. Bucs are headed up the road to Georgia to play the Falcons.
And Todd Bowles said we need to strengthen ourselves up some more. So he's going to start our starters probably for like the first half of the game. I don't know what that's all about, but whatever. Whatever works.
I think Brady should play one drive, keep his streak, whatever streak he has going. Mike Evans needs to be out of there. Chris Godwin does not need to play. Julio Jones does not need to play. Let Scotty and everybody else fill in. Brashard Perriman, I think, is still hurt. But fill them in with Devin Tompkins of the world and see how they play. And I don't know what's going on with our great quarterback that we drafted. Speaking of draft picks, that is a wasted draft pick because this man ain't touched the field at all. I don't know why we drafted him if we weren't going to give him a chance to play. But
any type of regular season shine. Who cares about Blaine Gabbert, bro? It's over for Blaine Gabbert. Yeah. He's gonna be out of there soon. Let's focus on Kyle Trask. Definitely should be buckling up his bootstrap, his cleats and his chin strap on Sunday. There's no reason why he should not touch that field. Why wouldn't you put that guy on the field? Why? That don't make no sense, man. Like, all right, would you be shocked? I mean, I wouldn't even be shocked, but I just don't understand why is he not touching the field. I mean, I get it. We got time all year. We're trying to make the playoffs. We're trying, I get it. But on the games where we don't need time, why? If Kyle Trask don't hit that field, I got a problem, bro. I got a problem. And we might need to reconsider because Blaine Gabbert is not the future, bro. And we need to find out quick if Kyle Trask is the future. We're tired of looking at preseason highlights to see what he can really do. Which so we're going to do? We're going to just throw this man out there to the wolves? And not at least prepare himself for one game in the regular season so he can get that regular season kind of like impact. Because the Falcons, they coming with it. They come with it regardless. They trying to close out their season and really come back and like, you know what, we deserve to be a playoff team because they noticed that they actually competed this year, even though the whole division looked crazy. But they don't want to go out. They want to go out with a bang. Even if you're sorry, people want to go out with a bang. So. And also, too, I hope the Lions make it to the playoffs, too. That'll be amazing to see. I hope the Lions and the Jets make it to the playoffs, at least one of them. But I want to see the Lions go. The Lions still got a chance, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Well, it's going to be a very interesting week, and I will be tuned in. Shout out to everybody.
As my dog said, then why get him? That's the question we were asking. Why did the Bucs draft Kyle Trask if they was going to never let him never let him touch the field? I don't know why Kyle Trask will not play on Sunday. I hope he does. Even if Brady, I know, again, as JR just said, I mean, Brady wants to play, and Brady's going to get his way. But this, again, when it comes to coaching, you got to have a coach who says, hell no, you sitting on the bench. Brady, maybe get that one drive in, but as we've seen our offensive line, is not fully together. Jensen's still out. The last thing the Bucs need is somebody to get hurt. And so do you risk having your starters like Mike Evans, who's been banged up, Chris Godwin has been banged up already this year, in a game that, yes, you want the continuity to carry in the playoffs, But these are NFL professional athletes. If you got to be worried about continuity, then there's a bigger issue. I think the risk of injuries, especially what has happened to the Bucs this year, outweighs playing these players a full game.
Also, too, shout out to Devin Thompson. I think Jr. Dot said that. Shout out to him. I like his explosiveness last week. That's the best explosiveness I done seen in probably since, I don't know, whoever took back our first kickoff return, or Aaron Stecker, or Carl Williams, from the punt return. Even though Carl Williams wasn't even who took back our first kickoff return.
I remember.
It wasn't Stecker. It was somebody else, man. But hey, man, I think Devin Thompson. I think he's gonna be a problem. That dude's gonna be a problem. He fast too. I like it. He fast. I like it. Like he was running for like 40-some yards last week. He was actually damn near about to break out. So I like this dude. So yeah, Bucs world, we in here, man. You got anything else to say?
No, I just again, I think this week it's going to be very different for the NFL. Before, if y'all caught on late, we did start by giving our thoughts and prayers to Damar and his family. So yeah, I think the NFL is going to be different. This Damar Hamlin. I think that the NFL is going to be a little different this weekend. Assuming the games are going to be played, I think I read the NFL is supposed to be making another decision today, whether or not the season will get pushed back a week. Because on the flip side of that, the Bills and the Bengals were fighting for playoff position. So it's going to kind of be interesting to see what the league does to whether or not what's going to happen with these standings. Because the Bills they were fighting for position. There was other teams in the AFC that needed one of them to lose to move up in the playoffs. So there's with the end of the season, there's a lot of still unknowns what's going to happen, at least on the AFC side of the playoffs. So but in all, and it's when we're watching the games, it's just entertainment for us because just remember these players are still human. There's still much.
You think they're gonna start? You think they're gonna start the game over, or they're gonna do it right where they left off from?
I think I was watching.
They're gonna have it right from where they left off from.
Was it Adam Schefter? I think I was watching Adam Schefter this morning. And he said, one possibility is just moving the season back, like finishing, because you got to think about it. It's going to be hard. The Bills are supposed to be playing this weekend. You can't. That is a hard thing to do. But as humans, we go back to it. Like we talked about it. Here at my station, I lost 2 coworkers, died in a helicopter crash. We were on air the same day. We had to work the same day. Like we moved. Like we had to continue the job that we had to do. And it sucks. Like you are thinking about that other person, but you still have a job to do. And so I think I can't remember his name, one of the Bills players actually talked yesterday on ESPN and was saying, they understand they have a job to do. They just want to make sure their brother is okay. And so, but it's still hard. I don't see how the Bills go out this weekend and play. So I think that's what the NFL is going to have to kind of keep in mind. I do think the best option may be pushing the season back a week. As I think Adam Schefter was alluding to, you play this week 18, but have a week 19 for the Bills and the Bengals to make up their game. And then you start the playoffs. But what that means is that there's no break for the Super Bowl week because it's going to be hard. You can't move the Super Bowl because all the logistics and stuff has already been, set for that specific date. I think you just don't have the week in between the Super Bowl, and I don't know. It's going to be interesting what the league decides to do.
But will they start that game over? Will it start from where they left off from, or will that game start over from the kickoff?
I think you have to start off from where it left off from. I mean, the Bengals were winning 7-3, so.
Okay. All right. There we go then.
And it was still in the first quarter, so it wasn't like something had been decided. It was still in the first quarter. Again, I don't know. It's or do the league just call it a no contest and give a no contest or make it a tie? The league is going to have to And obviously at this point, I don't think the Bengals or the Bills give a damn about that game. Again, it is much more bigger than the game. But I think the league is looking at it from the playoff standings. That it's going to shift the standings on the AFC side. So, but yeah, I think watching football this weekend definitely is going to have a different feel to it when we look at these players on the field. Who for most teams went back to practice today. So, yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, we about to head on out, y'all. Our offense rough, our defense tough. Go Bucs, go Bucs. And no other team stopping us. Go Bucs, go Bucs. And Raymond James will do our thing every time we score them cannons. If you want to see a game, go Bucs. We out, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Bucs world. Let's get it.